Hi, I'm Kay of Kay's Creative Home. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making a patriotic wreath that I'll probably use for Memorial Day or 4th of July during that season. I'm so excited about this wreath because it turned out exactly as I envisioned it. It's full of glitter and glam, and it's just shiny and bright. And I actually fell in love with it as I was making it because I could see it was coming together, like I said, just as I pictured it. So I can't wait to share it with you. So I'm starting out by making my working wreath form, and I have instructions to this in another video, which I'll put in the description box. And I'll also provide a link at the end of this video in case you want to watch that. The only difference is I think in that video I used the two center rings to put my pipe cleaners on, and in this video I'm using the second ring from the center and the very outer ring. That way it got, by being on the outer ring, it got bigger because it's wider on the side there. And then by being on that second ring, that's the highest. I think that's the highest ring on this reform. But at any rate, put it right in the center to make it nice and full. So I was really excited about that. All right, so I'm gonna finish putting these on, and then I'll be right back and we'll get started. So the next thing I want to do is build my foundation for the wreath, and I chose this 21-inch white mesh, and honestly it is that cheaper mesh. It has a lot of plastic in it, and I love it for building a foundation because it's nice and strong and sturdy. So I'm adding that in, and then again you see on that very end I have added a zip tie, clipping it with that zip tie gun. Yep, still in love with it. And that'll help to keep the ends from fraying. So what I'm going to do is make 10-inch posts. So I just measure out 10 inches, and then I tack it down into the next zip tie. Now when you're pulling out your mesh for that 10-inch measurement, hold it down with your other hand where your last zip tie is, or where your last pipe cleaner is. Sorry, I'll get those. I keep saying I use those interchangeably, but hold it securely so that when you pull, you don't actually pull that pipe clean out of place. So see, I'm holding it in one hand, and with the other hand I'm measuring out my 10 inches. You'll also see that as I measure out the 10 inches, I'm taking the two sides of the mesh and trying to tuck them under so that they won't be, sticking out once I get everything together. That 21 inches nice and wide, so you have to do a little work to get that underneath there. And then I just kind of pull it out straight, get my 10 inches, and then tuck it into the next pipe cleaner. So I'm going around the top of the frame first, and then I'm going to go around the bottom of the frame. Now, I'm going to say this early probably in the video, but if you enjoy these kind of videos, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with others. And if you're not a family member, please hit that button and ring the bell so you'll be notified when new videos are released. Again, I thank you all for helping me with getting my watch hours in so that I can become a part of what they call the YPP, or the YouTube Partnership Program. And I've submitted my application. I have my watch hours. Thank you all. I did the steps they asked you to do and submitted that, and hopefully I'll be hearing from them soon, and I'll start collecting a few pennies every time the ads are run. And those pennies add up, so I'm grateful for those. All right. So we're going to continue to work our way around here, and once I get this completely on, I'll be ready to take you to the next step. So I've added in my last poof on the outer edge of the frame. grabbed a zip tie from behind me, and I'm going to put it around that end of the mesh and clip it real tight with my zip tie gun here. And then I'm going to cut off the rest of the mesh, and that zip tie will help the end keep from fraying. Be careful when you do this, because as you're cutting, you could very easily cut into your wreath, you know, the things you've already put together. You want to be careful not to do that. All right, got that part done. So let's wrap this mesh, and we're going to kick it to the side, and then we're going to take the time to fluff out our mesh. You know, I always say making wreaths involves a lot of fluffing. And so I just take each section and make sure it's spread out as fully as it can be. It's only going to expand so far with the, you know, because it's tied down. But we want to poof it out as much as we can, making sure that the edges are still tucked under. So I'm going to work on that a sec, and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, this next step is where we bring in the bling and the glitter and the shine. So I have two different patriotic meshes. Is that the way you say it? I have two different mesh here. One has the wide red, white, and blue stripes, and the other has more narrower, and it's red, silver, and blue. So it's got a lot of bling going on here. And I'm just rolling these into what they call like those fat burritos, and then I'm going to add a zip tie in the middle of them. And I did this this way so I wouldn't have so much to hold on to while I was adding it to my wreath. That wide red, white, and blue is very thick, and it was like even hard to gather in the center. Um, the other one is more of the normal mesh. It's a little, you know, normal weight. But as you roll it, you want to make sure that the open end is left on the bottom. And you'll see when I roll this one, I'm going to do the same thing. Kind of roll it in, make sure that edge stays on the bottom, and then work together it and add my other mesh on top. Add that zip tie around the center and pull it nice and snug. And then I'll move my little clamp out the way. Okay, I've done a lot of these in advance, so we can get ready to just add them onto the wreath. Let's move forward. Now what you see I have here on the screen are my tails that I cut out of some silver ribbon that was right there on the roll. All of my ribbon came from Christmas ribbon. So during the holidays, remember to grab all the red you can for the year, especially when after the season it goes on sale, because you need it for Valentine's Day, you need it for 4th of July, probably, oh, yeah, Valentine's Day and 4th of July. And then the blues you can use for 4th of July, Memorial Day, if you do your patriotics then. You can also use it for, if you do a Father's Day theme, anything you make for a male or even some of the animal wreaths, you may want a blue. I also use it for fall. It works really well with those oranges and the burnt rust. So, you know, gather up as much of that as you can. So, I kind of did this as I went along, so I probably didn't make the right amount of tails from the beginning. But in the end, I used 6 red tails sets. So 6 would be 12 total. And then I used 7 sets of the white. So that would be 14 total you would cut. And then 5 sets of the blue. So that would be 10 total you would cut for blue. And I'll talk a little bit more about where I actually added each one to the wreath, because I wanted to keep it really bright and vibrant. So I did more red and white than I did that darker blue. So right now, I cut them at 12 inches. So I'm just wrapping it around my 12-inch ruler. And then I think I thought I would need 9 each, but of course, like I said, I didn't. Need it more. Excuse me. So I wrap it around and I cut each end, and then I take it and cut my dovetails on the ends. For me, the dovetails are usually I fold it in the center, then I go down about a 1/2 inch and cut up toward the outer open edge. So that's how I make my dovetails, and I also have a video for that, which I'll put in the description box. if you want to look at a close-up of how I actually do my dovetails. All right, see how cute that looks, that glitter and that shine on those ribbons? It's going to be perfect to make a blinged out 4th of July or Independence Day ribbon, a patriotic wreath. Okay, so got my ribbon tails cut out. I have my rolls ready. So what I'm going to do is I'll take 2 of each tail, find that center point by folding it, and gather it there in the center. Grab one of my rolls, add it right to the center there, and then I'm going to just start adding it to my wreath. I usually start on the top, so you see me adding it in there first. So I started out thinking I'd just do a pattern of red, white, and blue going around the top, but the top has 8 pipe cleaner sets, 8 pipe cleaners, and the outer ring has 10. So what I decided to do on the top was, and I'll actually change what I started with, so you may see me take one off later and reposition it. But on the top, I decided to do red, white, red, and then a blue. And then I did white, red, white, and then a blue. So I ended up with the 3 reds and 3 whites on the top. So again, red, it's like red, white, red, a blue, then went back to the white, red, white, and then a blue. So that was my 8 for the top. And I was happy with it. Again, make sure that when you're putting those rolls in, that the cut edges are facing down into the wreath. So I'm going to keep working my way around here, and then I'll check back in with you again. Let me also mention though, you'll see as I put them on, remember you want to get that twisty as tight as you can when you're putting it around them, so that your ribbon will be pulled into the center, and then the outer edges of your ribbon can fluff out. All right, be right back. So you can see I've got all of my pipe cleaners on the top round completed and filled. And again, it was red, white, red with a blue, white, red, white with a blue. So you can see up there I only got 2 blues on either side. I think it was like perfect for not making the wreath too dark. So I'm starting my bottom ring, and right in the middle of a white one there, underneath it on facing me, I'm putting in the navy blue to start. And I'm sorry you can't see me working on the other side. I was trying to change my angle with the last wreath, and it was making my back hurt. So as soon as I can, I'm going to get the spot cleared again on the counter so that my camera angles can be a little better. And of course you see a ton of those little rolls over there to my left, and that's because I'm going to be making 2 of these wreaths. Okay, so on the bottom round, I decided I have 10 pipe cleaners, so I decided to do 3 sets of red, white, blue, and then just an extra white. So red, white, blue, red, white, blue, red, white, blue, and then a white for that 10th one. So I'm going to finish making my way around here, and then we'll be ready for the next step. So the final step I want to add is a nice star on the center of my wreath, and I'm using again the 13-inch frame. These 13-inch frames, I'll explain later. So I made this star here. I used the same ribbon that you see there that I use for my tails, that silver ribbon. Love how it turned out. And so I'm just going to take my time here. I've added a pipe cleaner to that point of the star where my hand is now, and then across from it 2 legs of the star, I have added a pipe cleaner so that I can attach it to the reframe underneath all of that fluff and mesh there. So while I'm working on that, I want to tell you that these are 13-inch stars, which I got from Dollar Tree. came as a surprise to me. The stars are supposed to be 15 inches. And when I ordered them, I got a case of 13-inch. And so I started to send them back. And then I thought, no, let me hold on to them, because if I want to make a star a decoration of its own, then the 13-inch size might actually work better. And since the wreath frame is 14 inches, I thought it would always fit nicely on top of a wreath too. So you see I'm using it here, and I think the size works out quite well. I'm pretty sure the 15-inch would work just as well, because if you add a inch to probably a half an inch to each side, since it's 5 sides there, it's not going to get much bigger. So yeah, find yourself, you take your little star, whatever size you have, and wrap it in some beautiful ribbon, and look at what you got there. Look at that glow! Hope it doesn't blind you. So I'm going to get this attached, and then as usual I'm going to share pictures of the wreath and pictures of it hanging on a door. Different doors, different door colors, so you can get an idea of how it would look. And I really hope you like this design. I am just crazy. Again, I'm crazy about all this glitter and glitz. So I thank you for spending this time with me, and I'll be talking with you again real soon.